Hi everyone, this is video number 17 and I'm still into prototyping. And the prior 3 videos was about taking a fisherman's flash of genius where he invented a much improved clip for terminal tackle, and I'm using it for saltwater, and I think it was primarily developed for that. And it goes to a swivel, so it's a snap swivel clip. It's the newest improvement that came down the pike in generations. And in the video number 16, I actually showed you how to make it, how I went about making it. And he would have followed much the same procedure. Now, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse on the process of prototyping, but I am trying to drill it in and get it into your head that if you do not prototype, if you do not make a working model that you can touch, feel, and see, how are you going to convince somebody else along the way to purchase your finalized product? How are you going to explain to a jobber, meaning a metal shop, a mold maker, a die maker, some sort of fabricator, how are you going to show them how to make this part? They can't just dream this up out of thin air. They're not in your head. So if you don't do this, you're really going on a fool's errand. And you might as well stop right then and there, because it shows a lack of follow-through on your part and a lack of passion. And you're going to need follow-through and passion to be successful. Now, I want to read to you what the United States government said way back in 1952 when they ratified it into law. Congress did in 1953. And it has to do with patents. And patents is one part of what we're doing. And I'm going to break that down in 1 minute for you. But I want to read to you this law. And it will further help illustrate the value of building a working model of your idea. Because if you just have an idea and it's locked up in here, it's not enough to communicate its value to not only to yourself, but you can't do it to others. So let me read you this act. I think it's very foundational. It was effective in 1952, 1953. Whoever invents or discovers any new and useful process, machine, manufacture, composition of matter, well, that pretty much covers everything, or any new and useful improvement thereof, may obtain a patent for this concept. I told you in the very beginning when we first met that you don't have to invent a one-off. Those days are pretty much gone. That happened during the golden era of the Industrial Revolution, when mankind was inventing processes and materials and items and products for the very first time to be used for the benefit of us all. We're mainly improvement inventors. We're mainly improvement product developers. So that fishing clip that I showed you in the first 3 videos, and I ended up making a finalized prototype, that was just a takeoff of a paper clip that's used to hold papers. He just changed the materials out. He didn't use cheap steel plated, tin plated wire. He used high-grade stainless steel, and he made a couple of different bends, and he applied it to a different application. Terminal tackle, a saltwater fishing clip. I was smitten by it, and I am all the time, because I use it, I don't know, a good 6 months out of the year. and it hasn't failed. It's just a fabulous concept. So let's get into this. You have to prove to yourself before you prove to others that you have a viable idea. And that's why you have to prototype. You can fine tune it. Let me go down the list. One of the overarching things is if you make a prototype, it will prove to you that it can be manufactured, that it can be reproduced, and you can touch it, you can feel it, and you'll be having a good gauge on how your intended market basket is going to feel about your idea. Whether they're going to get excited over it as well. And they have to get excited over it because remember, the people we're shooting for are going to pull a wallet out of their back pocket and they're going to buy it. They're going to pay for it. It takes quite a bit of motivation to get somebody to do something like that, but it's all attainable. You're going to get the costs of this. You're going to finalize in your head how much this is going to cost and what the breakdowns of these costs are. Materials, the manufacturing, the packaging. Understand this about product development and bringing forth a new product out into the marketplace. Everybody who touches this process, whether it's a material supplier, a manufacturer, a wholesaler, a retailer, a distributor, everybody involved in this has to make their customary profit margin. And that includes you. You're supposed to make a certain percentage as well, and I'm going to keep that a secret for a little bit. But everybody who touches this has to make the money that they're used to making for being involved in a procedure like this. So without building a real prototype and getting the cost for a long production run and a short production run, how are you going to know? Well, the answer is you won't. The big thing to come out of this, and I already mentioned this in the early stages of this video series, when you are physically making your prototype, this is the time, this is really the only time that your patent claims are going to come to light, because this art of making your facsimile product is going to open up your mind as to how you're going to write your patent specifications, how you're going to put forth your drawings, which your drawings not only protect you, but they help sell the examiner. Because remember, for well over a century, the patent office does not require prototypes. They used to when they first started out. But they quickly figured out they didn't have the room, the wherewithal to house all these prototypes. So they're absent. The only prototype that you have to offer the examiner, and you have to get past the patent examiner, is a picture. And it's a figure drawing, and it's a technical drawing, but nonetheless, it's candy to the eye of the examiner. So if you haven't built a prototype, how are you going to communicate to your graphic figure drawer who you're going to hire how to put forth the concept of what you're doing in drawing form? Now, I just went through that with my last patent submission. And I am telling you that I built a prototype of the main feature of my invention. And if I hadn't have done it, I wouldn't have been able to communicate to the figure drawer that I hired to do the drawings in the proper way. So that's critical. The claims are critical. The summary and the specification is critical. Now, I want to say this about patents. Patents kind of protect you from the inside out. They're kind of like the visceral guts of your idea. And I'm going to be getting into that when I start sharing with you what I know about patents. Trademarks and trade dress, if you think about it, is like our clothing. It protects you from the outside inward, but it doesn't go very deep. It's only skin deep, but that's enough to protect you in that form. It has to do with the look, the touch, the feel, and the tactile elements of your invention. Trade secrets also burst forth if they're going to. Not every invention has trade secrets. Again, not to beat a dead horse, but my newest patent that I filed for a tangle-free flag does not have any trade secrets at this point. Now, it might when I get into the development of the ballast part of this project, but as of right now, I don't have trade secrets. I have a patent application actually, and it's pending. And between you and I, a patent pending doesn't mean too much at this stage. You have to have a formalized grant. But anyway, trade secrets take it a level deeper than a patent. It's actually on the molecular level. It's the secret and it's the supercharged fuel behind your claims. It's the basis and the rationale for your claims, but your trade secrets are never contained in your claims. And I want to give you a very good example of something. Coca-Cola. It's been around for over 100 years. Yes, there are facsimiles that have been produced and cola formulations all around the world for the longest time, but nothing tastes quite exactly like Coca-Cola. The reason for that is simple. The formulation of Coca-Cola is a trade secret, and they've managed to keep that under lock and key for over a century. So although there's Pepsi, and it's a close facsimile, it doesn't taste anything like Coca-Cola. And that is a trade secret. And trade secrets can be as valuable as any patent ever is, because it requires guesswork to figure out the trade secrets. And as you can see, something is similar as a recipe that's based upon your tongue and your nose and actually the feel in your mouth. Well, that trade secret hasn't been unlocked in over 100 years. So that's why we're talking about this. And I guess the last thing I want to say is the doubting Thomas factor. You can talk about your idea all day long, but if you can't make it, you can't show it to somebody, they're not going to believe you. So in the next video, I believe I'm going to share with you one of the major aspects of my newest patent application, the tangle-proof flag, that's been in the patent office now for a year and 9 months. And I haven't received it yet. Like I said, it's in the pending stage. But there was a crucial element of that application. There was a crucial element in the prototyping and the proving thereof to myself, whether this thing could be made and whether it would work. And I think I'm going to share that with you in the next video. So, happy inventing, and I'll catch you along. God bless you, and I'll be around real soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.